श्रीमती सीमा वर्सेस अश्विनी कुमार 2006. The case, the following issue has been discussed by Supreme Court. Registration of marriage. In which one of the following cases Supreme Court has directed that marriage of all person belonging to any religion be registered in their respective status where the marriage is solemnized if they are the citizen of India. Seema versus Ashwini Kumar. Constitutional validity of which section of Hindu Marriage Act 1955 was upheld by Supreme Court in Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan 1984. Section 9. The constitutional validity of Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act was tested in the case of Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan, AIR 1984. T. Saritha versus Venkata Subhaiya is a case related to conjugal right. Bipin Chandra versus Prabhavarti. Supreme Court explained concept of desertion. Lakshman Uttam Chand Kriplani versus Meena is a leading case of Supreme Court on the ground of desertion. Which one of the following section of Hindu Marriage Act was challenged in the case of Lakshmi Amla versus Ramma Swami Naikar? Section 11. Which one of the following case decided by Supreme Court is related to mental cruelty? Dastane versus Dastane. Dastane versus Dastane is a leading decision of Supreme Court on the point of cruelty. In which one of the following cases it was held that matrimonial rights are not violating of Article 14 and 21 of the Constitution? Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan. The case relating to constructive desertion is Jyotish Chandra versus Meera. While examining the amplitude of the cruelty for the purpose of the Hindu marriage 1955, the Honorable Supreme Court, in which one of the following case laid down the board parameter which may be relevant in dealing with the case of mental cruelty? Samar Ghosh versus Jaya Ghosh 2007. A husband convicting to the Islam, marrying and again, will be the guilty of bigamy. It was held in which one of the following cases? Sarla Mugdal versus Union of India. Under Hindu law, Geeta Jagdish Mangte versus Jagdish Mangtani 2005 is a case of desertion. Tagore versus Tagore laid down in which one of the following rules? A Hindu cannot dispose of his property by gift intervening in the favor of unborn child. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that the demand of dowry, which is prohibited under law, amount to cruelty and also ground for dissolution of marriage? Shobha Rani versus Madhukar Reddy. In which case Supreme Court held that staying together under the same roof is not a precondition of mental cruelty? K. Srinivas Rao versus D.A. Dippa 2013. The leading case of Hindu husband entering second marriage on conversion to Islam is Sarla Mugdal 1995. The preposition of law laid down is Kalla Swami versus Sesa Reddy, related to right of a female Hindu under subsection 1 and 2 of section 14 of the Hindu Succession Act. T. Vallaswamy versus V. Sesa Reddy, leading decision of Supreme Court on the provision of section 14 of the Act. Mother of a Hindu child was declared by the apex court to be the natural guardian during the lifetime of his or her father in Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that it is not well established that in absence of any rule of Hindu law, the court have authority to decide case on the principle of justice, equity and good conscience. Gaurinath versus Kamlabai. The adoption is to be proved as a fact. Burden is on the person who arrested. It was held in which one of the following case? Kisori Lal versus Chalti Bai. Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act 1995 was held inter vires. The constitutional by Supreme Court in which case? Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar. Jurisdiction of family court applied to which one of the following community? All of these: Lingayat, Muslim, Buddhist. A Muslim divorced woman can apply directly to the Waqf board when there is no relative supported her. Relative to support her. This was held in which one of the following case? Secretary, Tamil Nadu Waqf Board versus Sayyid Fatima Nachi. In which of the following case? The court discussed that the mimically and capricious divorce by the husband is good in law, though bad in the ology. Sameem Aada case. In which one of the following cases it was held that only in case of triple talaq halala is mandatory before marrying to the same husband. Miss Subha Anand Sami versus Anand Sami. In which one of the following case Supreme Court discussed constitutional validity of triple talaq? Saida Banu versus Union of India. Who delivered the dissenting minority judgment in triple talaq case? Justice Khair Singh. Muslim women deserted by her husband without divorce is entitled to maintain under section 125 of CRPC has been declared by the Supreme Court in the case of Muhammad Amjad Khan versus Sahabano 1985, in which one of the following case Supreme Court held that 3 talaq would be treated a single talaq and not a valid talaq. Sameem Aada versus State of UP. If which one of the following case it was held that only in case of triple talaq halala is mandatory before remarrying the same husband? Muhammad Sabah Anand Sami versus Anand Sami. The principal in the case of Jijabai Vittal Rao Garje versus Pathan Khan 1971 is related with minority and guardianship. Govind Dayal versus Inayatullah is a leading case on which on the following? Pre-injunction. Shaida Banu versus Union of India is a case related to triple talaq. In ABC, the state of NCT of Delhi 2015, the Supreme Court held that Section 7 and 11 of Guardian and Wards Act 1890 does not necessarily require notice to be sent to unwillingly furthered, and therefore the mother of a child born outside the wedlock can be bestowed guardianship. In which one of the following cases Supreme Court held that if the father is wholly indifferent to the matter of minor or the physically unable to take care of the minor for a reason whatsoever, the father can be considered to be absent within the meaning of Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act 1956. Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India. In which one of the following case Supreme Court has directed the state and the central government to make law for compulsory registration of marriage in all over India? Sameem Seema versus Aswini Kumar. in which one of the following case pleading retrospective talaq is in the written statement as counter to the wife maintenance petition was not accepted as a valid enforceable. Sameem Awara versus State of UP. The marriage of all the person who are citizen of India belonging to various religion should be made compulsory registrable in their retrospective and respective state where the marriage is solemnized was held by the Supreme Court in the case of Seema versus Ashwini Kumar. In Hindu law, the clear proof of uses will be weighed as a written text of law. This is statement made in the case of Collector of Madurai versus Muthu Ramalingam. Doctrine of victim velvet. Which one of the following cases is related to mental cruelty and is decided by Supreme Court? Dastane versus Dastane. In which one of the following cases Supreme Court held that unwed mother can be the sole guardian of the child? ABC versus State of NCLT Delhi. Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955 has declared unconstitutional. High Court in the case of T. Saritha versus Venkatta Subbiah. A clear proof of usage will outweigh the written text law. It was observed in the case of Collector of Madurai versus Muthu Ramalingam. In which of these cases the question of constitutional validity of Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act came into consideration for the first time? T. Saritha versus Venkatta Subbiah, Andhra Pradesh Court Judgment 1983. In which of the following case High Court held that presence of Qazi is not necessary at the time of marriage ceremony of Muslim law? Qazi Muhammad Nimazuddin Hussain versus Andhra Pradesh, State of Andhra Pradesh. In which one of the following case court held that dower is the sale price of a woman? Abdul Qadir case. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that the three talaq would be treated as a single talaq, not a valid talaq? Sameem Awara versus State of UP 2002. Marriage of all person whose citizen of India belonging to various religions should be made compulsory registrable in their respective state where the marriage is solemnized. This has been held by the Supreme Court in the case of Seema versus Ashwini Kumar. In which one of the following case the court held that doctrine of acknowledgement of party, part of the substantive Muslim law or inheritance, is not a rule of evidence? Muhammad Allahabad Khan versus Ismail Khan. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that talaq-e-biddat is not valid divorce? Sameem Awara versus Union of India. Dastane versus Dastane. Case deciding by Supreme Court cruelty. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that the three talaqs would be treated as single talaq and not a valid talaq? Sameem Awara versus UP, State of UP. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that cohabitation lead to the presumption that person are living as a husband and wife? Bal Subramaniam versus Surutaiyan 1992. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that even the wife of a void marriage is entitled to maintenance? Chand Diwan versus Jawaharlal Diwan. Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act was held intra vires by the Supreme Court in the case of Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan. Hindu mother can be the natural guardian of a minor children during the life of the father of the child if he is not take due care of the child. This was held by Supreme Court in the case of Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India. In which one of the following case Supreme Court has not addressed the issue of uniform civil code? Ramesh Chandra versus Savitri. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that it is now well established that in the absence of any rule of Hindu law, The court have authority to decide case on the principle of justice, equity, and good conscience. Gurunath versus Kamala Bai. In which one of the following case Supreme Court held that we are not prepared to express any definite opinion on the question of whether there can be two karta in the joint family property. Mudaka Properties versus Biharilal Mudaka. What is the following statement are correct? Shreya Singhal versus Union of India deal with right to freedom of speech and expression. Sarla Mugdal and others versus Union of India deal with the right to convert Christian women. In which one of the following case did Supreme Court held that relationship in the nature of marriage under the Domestic Violence Act 2005 must be also fulfill some basic criteria. Mere spending weekends together on one night would not be make a domestic relationship. D. Villuswamy versus P. Pitta Chamalla. Dowry may be regarded as a consideration for connubial intercourse by way of analogy to the contract for sale. Abdul Qadir versus Salma. Chandra versus Suresh. AIR 1971, Delhi. This decree of judicial separation. Nizwan versus Nizwan, cruelty. Daniel Latifi versus Union of India, maintenance. Husna Ada versus Jubaida Begum, dowry. Gujarat Women Worker Association case, Uniform Civil Court. Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India, guardianship. Karta Singh through Bachan Singh versus Suraj Singh, adoption. Naveen Kohli versus case, irritable breakdown of marriage, recommended. A. Jayachandra versus Anil Kaur, cruelty explained. Kalluswamy versus Sissa Reddy, limited estate of a women became absolute estate. John Walmont versus Union of India. Section 118 of Indian Succession Act 1925 is constitutional. R. Kanthal versus Union of India. Right to daughter to reopen the partition is valid. Sandhya versus Union of India. A Hindu having a daughter under Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act. Rukaiya Khatun versus Abdul Laskar. Reconciliation should be preceded talaq. Saida Banu versus Union of India. Triple talaq is unconstitutional. Sameem Ada versus State of UP. Uncommunicated talaq is no talaq. Daniel Latifi versus Union of India. Divorced women is entitled to meher, reasonable fair provisions for future. Ashok Huda versus Rupa Hurra, divorce by mutual consent. Geeta Hariharan versus RBI, mother as a natural guardian. Lily Thomas versus Union of India, Uniform Civil Code. T. Saritha versus Venkatta Subbiah, restitution of conjugal right. Ashok Huda versus Rupa Huda, divorce by mutual consent. Bipin Chandra versus Prabhavati, desertion. Sarla Mugdal versus Union of India, Uniform Civil Code. T. Saritha versus State of Andhra Pradesh, restitution of conjugal right. Muhammad Ahmed Sahabanu versus Sahabanu, maintenance. Mukka Rathod versus State of Kerala, oral gift. Mainia Bibi versus Chaudhary Wakil Ahmad, daward. Nawajis Ali Khan versus Ali Raza, life interest. Nizwa versus Nizwa, desertion. Ashok Huda versus Rupa Kumari, restitution of conjugal right. Dastane versus Dastane, cruelty. T. Saritha versus State of Andhra Pradesh, divorce by mutual consent. Daniel Latifi versus Union of India, Muslim divorce. Sami Mawla versus State of UP, triple talaq. Mudke Mukkar Rathod versus State of Kerala, oral gift. Husna Ada versus Jubaida Begum, dawar. Gujarat Women Worker Association versus Union of India, Uniform Civil Code. Hamira Bibi versus Zaida Bibi, dawar. Anwari Begum versus Jubaida, triple divorce. Bai Tihada versus Ali Hussain Faisal, maintenance. Ram Narayan versus Rameshwari, insanity. Lakshman versus Meena, desertion. Dastane versus Dastane, cruelty. Hospital X versus Hospital Z, venereal disease. Seema versus Aswini, cruelty as the ground of divorce. Geeta Hariharan versus Reserve Bank of India, mother as a natural guardian. B. Bhagat versus D. Bhagat, cruelty as the ground of divorce. Or Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Sahabanu, maintenance of Muslim wife. Seema versus Aswini, compulsory registration of marriage. Dastane versus Dastane, mental cruelty. Iqbal Bano versus State of UP, maintenance of Muslim wife. Lily Thomas versus Union of India, bigamy. Harvinder Kaur versus Harvinder Singh, restitution of conjugal right. Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar, constitutionality of Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Jordan Dengade versus SS Chopra, Uniform Civil Code. Russell versus Russell, meaning of cruelty. Sastri versus Muldas, meaning of Hindu. Vishwanath Agarwal versus Sarla Agarwal, cruelty. Geeta Muglani versus Jagdish Muglani, desertion. Manish Goyal versus Rohini Goyal, divorce by mutual consent. Vishnu Prakash versus Sheela Devi, Sadpadi,